Have you ever laid in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling so tired, but somehow unable to fall asleep? You toss. You turn. You adjust the pillow. You close your eyes. You try to clear your mind. But the minutes turn into hours, and your body? It's exhausted. But your mind? Wide awake. Maybe you blame it on age. I guess this just comes with getting older, you tell yourself. Maybe your doctor said it's normal. Or your friends joke about it. We're part of the no sleep club now, they say. But what if I told you, it doesn't have to be that way? What if the real problem isn't just your age or your mind racing? What if it's what you're putting on your plate? See, there's something most people don't talk about, especially as we get older. Your diet and your sleep are deeply connected. And the foods you eat, especially at night, can either calm your body into peaceful rest or keep you lying there, frustrated and restless. It's not your fault. Nobody ever taught us this stuff when we were younger. We grew up thinking sleep is just about how tired we are. But as the body changes, so do our needs, and the good news? You can still sleep like you used to. Actually, maybe even better. All it takes is a few simple changes. Nothing fancy. No pills. Just real food. Real habits. Real results. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 powerful foods that can help you sleep deeper, longer, and better than you have in years. And even more important, I'll show you how to eat them the right way. Because it's not just what you eat, it's when and how that matters. And listen, make sure you stay with me all the way to the end. Because number 6 is something most people think they shouldn't eat before bed. But in the right way. It might just be your secret weapon for the best night's sleep you've had in decades. So go ahead and get comfortable. Maybe grab a warm cup of tea, put your feet up, and let's talk, just you and me. Oh, and before we dive in, do me a favor, comment below and type, "Sleep better," if you're ready to discover the natural way to finally get the rest you deserve. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips. This channel is your safe place for guidance, comfort, and proven tips to help you thrive in your later years. Alright. Ready to sleep like never before? Let's begin. Let's start with something simple. Something you probably already have sitting on your kitchen counter. A banana. Yeah, that humble yellow fruit most of us grew up with. Now, picture this. Dinner's over. You've watched a little TV, maybe read a few pages of a book. The night's winding down. Normally, you might reach for a salty snack, maybe even something sweet, just to keep your hands busy before bed. But tonight, you peel a banana instead. Soft, gentle, easy on the stomach. It doesn't feel like much. But inside that banana is a powerhouse of sleep-friendly nutrients. Magnesium, which helps your muscles relax. Potassium, which eases tension and supports your nerves. Together, they work like nature's own little sleep aid. No side effects. No prescriptions. Just natural calm, working with your body instead of against it. Now, some folks might say, isn't fruit too sugary at night? And sure, if you eat a whole bowl of fruit late at night, that might be too much. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about half a banana. Maybe even a few slices. Eaten slowly. Mindfully. About an hour before bed. And if you really want to boost the effect, pair it with a warm mug of chamomile tea. That combo. The banana's nutrients and the tea's soothing herbs, it's like wrapping your nervous system in a warm blanket. It's small. It's simple. But it works. And here's the thing, when it comes to sleep, simple is often the most powerful. But if you think bananas are impressive, wait until you hear about this warm, creamy drink that might take you back to your childhood, and could just change the way you sleep forever. Ever remember being given a cup of warm milk as a child to help you fall asleep? Maybe it was your mother. Maybe your grandmother. She'd warm it gently on the stove, pour it into your favorite cup, and say something like, "This will help you drift off." And sure enough, it did. Turns out, Grandma knew exactly what she was doing. Because that warm milk isn't just comforting, it's biologically powerful. See, milk contains tryptophan, an amino acid that your body uses to make melatonin. That's the sleep hormone we need to feel drowsy and stay asleep through the night. It also has calcium, which helps your brain convert that tryptophan more efficiently. So no, milk isn't just for kids. In fact, as we get older and our natural melatonin levels start to drop, warm milk can become even more useful. Now here's the secret to making it work: warm it gently, don't boil it, just enough to feel cozy in your hands. Then add a pinch of cinnamon or turmeric. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar through the night, so you don't wake up in the early hours with your mind racing. Turmeric. That adds anti-inflammatory benefits, perfect if you've got aching joints or stiffness that keeps you tossing and turning. Simple. Gentle. Healing. It's not old-fashioned, it's wise. And speaking of melatonin, let's talk about a tiny, powerful fruit that's practically made of it. I want to tell you about a woman I met not too long ago. She's in her 70s, lives alone, very sharp mind, but she'd been struggling with broken sleep. Falling asleep wasn't the issue, it was staying asleep. She'd wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. every night. And once she was up, that was it. Her mind would start racing, and the night would feel endless. She tried herbal teas, reading, even background music. Then one day, on a whim, she tried tart cherry juice. Just a small glass in the evening. No expectations. Within a week, she told me, "I didn't wake up once last night." Here's why: tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin. That's the very hormone your brain needs to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. And not only that, they're also packed with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and promote calm throughout the body. Aren't cherries too acidic at night? That's a fair question. And yes, for some folks, especially with reflux, sweet cherries might be an issue. But tart cherries? They're a different kind. Lower in sugar, and when consumed in moderation, say, half a cup of juice or a small handful of dried tart cherries, they're surprisingly gentle on the system. Try taking them about 1 to 2 hours before bed. That gives your body time to process the natural melatonin and start slowing down. And if they work for you, it'll feel like night and day, literally. But what if I told you that one humble nut, yes, just a nut, could calm your nerves, reduce anxiety, and help you slide into sleep like a soft lullaby? I remember speaking with a sweet older lady a few months ago. She'd been struggling with sleep for years. She said evenings were the hardest, the cravings would hit, and she'd often reach for cookies. It was comforting, sure, but come bedtime, she'd lie there restless, jittery, unable to settle down. Then, she made one small change. She swapped those cookies for a handful of almonds in the evening. Just a simple switch, and as she put it, I haven't looked back since. Almonds might be small, but they're powerful. They're packed with magnesium, which, if you remember from earlier, helps relax your muscles and quiet your nerves. They've also got healthy fats and a touch of protein, which helps keep your blood sugar steady through the night. Now I know what you might be thinking: aren't nuts too fatty before bed? It's a fair concern. But here's the truth: it's all about portion. You're not eating a bowlful. Just a small handful, about 7 to 10 almonds, is more than enough. Eat them slowly. Chew well. Let your body know it's winding down. And because they digest slowly, you avoid that midnight blood sugar crash that often wakes people up at 2 or 3 in the morning. Plus, there's something grounding about that gentle crunch. It satisfies the need to snack, without sabotaging your sleep. But from crunchy to creamy, this next one might surprise you. Because even though it feels indulgent, it's actually one of the best sleep foods out there. Now picture this. A viewer once wrote in to say she started eating a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt before bed. She said it helped her stop snacking, and more importantly, she felt less groggy in the morning. She didn't wake up with that heavy, foggy head so many of us are used to. And there's science behind it. Greek yogurt is rich in calcium, and just like warm milk, that calcium helps your brain make better use of tryptophan, the key building block of melatonin. It also has a touch of protein, which helps keep you full and stable through the night. Now, let's clear something up. Some folks say, but isn't dairy hard to digest, especially at night? And that's true for some people. But the trick is choosing the right kind. Go for plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, not the fruity, sugary ones. And if you want to elevate it just a bit, add a drizzle of raw honey, or sprinkle in some ground flax seed. Honey helps raise your insulin just enough to let tryptophan reach your brain. And flax seed? It adds fiber and omega-3s, which support overall brain and heart health. A few creamy spoonfuls. Simple. Satisfying. Sleep-promoting. And that brings us to a food many older adults tend to avoid, maybe because of old diet rules or blood sugar fears. But it's time we rethink this misunderstood grain. Because when used right, it can gently rock you into a deeper, more peaceful night's rest. There's a retired teacher I spoke with recently, the kind who still tells stories with her hands and lights up when talking about old students. She said for most of her life, she thought oats were just a breakfast food. Something quick in the morning. A little bland. Mostly for energy. But as she got older, she started having trouble sleeping. Her doctor said she was fine, just normal aging. But she knew her body, and she didn't feel fine. Then one day, she tried something simple, a small bowl of oats before bed. And she said, and I'll never forget her words, I haven't slept like this since the 80s. Turns out, she was onto something. Oats are rich in slow-digesting carbohydrates. Why does that matter? Because those gentle carbs help more tryptophan get into your brain. Which means more melatonin and serotonin, the very hormones that help you relax and fall asleep. It's like giving your brain permission to slow down. Now, some folks ask, isn't oatmeal just for breakfast? Not anymore. It's time to change how we look at food, because sometimes, the best sleep support comes from the simplest sources. So, here's how to do it. Take about a quarter cup of oats, cook them in milk instead of water for that extra calcium and tryptophan boost. Add a few banana slices for magnesium and potassium, or sprinkle in a dash of cinnamon for warmth and blood sugar control. You're not making a big meal, just a little soothing bedtime bowl. And as it warms your belly, it gently signals your body, it's time to rest now. But now, let's move from the bowl to the cup. Because sometimes, the answer isn't in what you eat, it's in what you sip. There was a gentleman I met once, widowed, soft-spoken, the kind of man who chooses his words carefully. He told me that for years, he'd stay up late watching the clock, midnight. 1:30. 2 a.m. He said, I just couldn't shut my mind off. Then he started making a habit. Every night, just before bed, he'd brew a cup of chamomile tea. Nothing fancy. Just one cup. And he said, it changed my nights, and my mornings. That's the beauty of herbal teas. They're more than warm water with flavor, the right ones have powerful calming effects on your nervous system. Chamomile, for instance, has been used for centuries to ease anxiety and help people sleep. Valerian root is another, slightly stronger, often called nature's Valium. And lemon balm. That one's especially good if you tend to feel restless or worried as bedtime approaches. Now, here's where many people go wrong, they assume all herbal teas are the same. But each one works a little differently, and some work better for your body than others. So, Here's my advice, try one. Sip it slowly. Steep it for at least 10 minutes to let the herbs fully release their calming oils. And drink it 30 to 60 minutes before bed, not right before lying down. You want your body to wind down naturally. No sugar. No caffeine. Just peace in a cup. And the best part? This little ritual, this pause at the end of your day, it's not just good for your body. It's healing for your mind. Now that you've got the foods down, let's talk about something just as important, how you feel. I know it can be frustrating. You go through your day, maybe even get some fresh air, do a few chores, take your medications, and by the time night falls, you're ready to rest. Your body is tired, but your mind won't shut off. You lie there, watching the ceiling, thinking about old memories, wondering about tomorrow, sometimes feeling a heaviness you can't quite explain. And if you live alone, those nights feel even longer. No one to talk to. Just the quiet, and your thoughts. It's lonely. Sometimes, even a little scary. I want you to know, you are not alone in this. So many in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond are going through the same thing. It's not just about age, it's about change, in your body, your hormones, your routine. But the good news is, you are not helpless. That's the part people often forget. They think poor sleep is just something you learn to live with as you get older. But that's not true. You have more control than you think. Sometimes, it starts with just one small, gentle change. It might be a warm cup of milk before bed. Or a spoonful of Greek yogurt instead of a sugary dessert. A handful of almonds while you unwind with a good book. A few sips of chamomile tea as you let the day go. These aren't prescriptions. They're invitations. Invitations to reclaim your nights, not with pills or drastic routines, but with nourishment, care, and a little intention. So, I want to encourage you, tonight, just try one. Just one thing from this list. Something simple. And observe how you feel. Give your body the signal, you are safe. You can rest now. Because better sleep. It's not a distant dream. It's right there, within reach. And you deserve it, deeply, truly. Not just because sleep is important. But because you've spent a lifetime caring for others, building, working, sacrificing. Now it's your turn to be cared for, by yourself, in the most natural, nourishing way. Your golden years should be filled with comfort. With peace. With rest that truly restores. And with the right little changes, night by night, that kind of sleep, deep, healing, peaceful sleep, can absolutely be yours. So, let's quickly recap the 7 foods that can help you get the restful, healing sleep your body's been craving. Bananas, gentle on the stomach, rich in magnesium and potassium to help your muscles unwind. Warm milk, that cozy childhood memory. Turns out it's backed by science, full of tryptophan and calcium to ease you into sleep. Tart cherries, tiny, but powerful. Naturally packed with melatonin to improve both sleep quality and length. Almonds, that evening crunch that stabilizes your blood sugar and soothes your nervous system. Greek yogurt, creamy, full of calcium, and helps your brain make melatonin. Oats, not just for breakfast. A comforting bowl before bed sends more tryptophan to your brain. And herbal teas. Like chamomile, lemon balm, or valerian root, known to calm the mind and relax the body. Each of these offers your body the gentle nudge it needs to settle down, to slow the racing thoughts, and to welcome sleep naturally. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which one are you going to try tonight? Or maybe you already have a little nighttime food ritual that works for you. Maybe a warm drink, a bedtime snack, something passed down from your parents or even your grandparents. Share it in the comments, we'd love to learn from you. You never know who your tip might help tonight. And if this video helped you in any way, if it gave you a new idea to try, or just made you feel understood for a moment. Please tap that like button and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips. We're a gentle, growing community that shares kind-hearted advice to help make your later years not just longer, but richer, healthier, and more peaceful. So hit subscribe, and let's keep walking this path together, with care, with curiosity, and with compassion. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself. Get that rest you deserve. And I'll see you in the next video. Sleep well, friends.